Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK, and today I'm taking part in the Stamp Around UK video hop. And our theme for December is Shimmer, Sparkle and Shine. And I hope that you'll agree that this card fits that brief, particularly the shine. I have used some champagne foil, which I've kind of distressed, and I will show you how I did that. I've got some extra shine on my sentiment because I've heat embossed that with clear stamping emboss powder, and I've got a little bit of sparkle with some champagne rhinestones in there. So yeah, I'm going to show you how I made this card, and it is a little bit messy, so I've actually doubled up with my grid mat so that I can get rid of this one once I've done the first stage or so. Ordinarily, if I was using foil, I would probably try and not get fingerprints on it, but too late for that already. So my first step with this is to add some StazOn ink. StazOn is a non-porous ink, and it's great for adding a little bit extra to foil like this. So I don't want to add a huge amount, just enough. So now that I've done that, I'm going to set that aside. This will be a bit of a itty bitty video. There will be bits that I'll have to put aside and then bring back. In fact, I'll bring that back in and I'll show you what I did with the ribbon. So this ribbon here started like that, the silver edged whisper white ribbon. So I'm going to show you how I coloured that, and also the polka dot tulle ribbon started off as white as well. So I'm going to show you what I did with that. I've already prepped a bit, but I am just going to show you. I'm using the dark basic black Stampin' Blend, and for the tulle ribbon I am basically just dabbing on the dots. Make sure that I've got it all the way around, and as I say, it's pretty messy because the ink will just go right through as well. So takes a little bit of time, but gives you a nice effect. And similarly with the ribbon, I've used the brush part of that, and I'm just running it right along, and the alcohol will evaporate, so this dries pretty quickly, and it gives you a lovely even colour as well. So you can go over it a couple of times if you feel that you want it a little bit darker, and in case you've missed anything on it. So there we have it. That will dry nice and quickly. This one I did find took longer to dry, just so that you're aware of that. Now I could use my heat tool to speed that up, but I've got plenty of other elements of the card that I can be showing you. So the next bit I'm going to do is stamp the sentiment, and for that I'm going to use Memento ink and also Versamark ink. This stamp comes from the Rooted in Nature stamp set. So I'm inking this up with Versamark first, and then coming in with my Memento, and I want to make sure that I've definitely got that looking black. I think I probably need to re-ink my memento. Yeah, I think that'll do. Stamping that onto Whisper White. And bringing this scrap piece of paper to add some clear embossing powder to that. Now, because this is a video hop, you will see a list of all of the other UK based demonstrators that are taking part. So please, once you've watched my video, make sure that you click on the description bar below to hop your way around the other demonstrators and get lots more inspiration for shimmer, sparkle and shine. So I'm going to heat set that, and I'm just going to check, yeah, that's dried as well. So I'll heat set that, and then I'm going to emboss this with the Old World paper embossing folder, and then I'll come back to you and show you the next steps. Okay, so the eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed that I stamped It's Your Day, Enjoy It, which was not from Rooted in Nature. What I should have stamped was You Are Wonderful, to match my sample card. I've prepped ahead for another video and unfortunately picked up the wrong stamp. So I've already heat set that and cut it with one of the Tasteful Labels dies, and so that's that part ready as well. And I've also embossed that piece of champagne foil. Okay, so next part is to add some more of the sort of texture and different colours to it, and I did that with some more heat embossing. So again, I just want to add little bits of detail onto this, and I'm going to add some gold embossing powder first of all. Now, I wanted to make sure that my Stays On ink was completely dry before I put it in my embossing folder, because I didn't really want to transfer that ink onto my embossing folder. So you'll see that I've kind of got quite straight lines on there, so this is the benefit. You can just, if I think I've got too much in that area, I can just completely wipe it off. If I think that's too straight a line, I can just blur it a little bit as well. So that's my gold. I'll heat set that, and then I can come in and do silver exactly the same way. Okay, so that just really kind of gives that a bit more of a distressed look with having the champagne, silver and gold on there as well. But I am going to knock it back a little bit, adding some more Stays On onto it. So just again, it'll pick up some of the highest parts this time. Okay, so I'm going to wait for that to dry, and then it will be time to assemble the card. So put that to the side, and I've already prepped a card base. All of the measurements for this card will be in my blog, and there'll be a link to that blog in the description bar below, as well as a link to any products that you might wish to buy. So again, I've used stamps from Rooted in Nature to just add a little bit of detail to the bottom of the insert panel. And I've also die cut and embossed some champagne foil leaves. Again, I want to add some stays on to that, but I'll show you what I did. So the Rooted in Nature leaves have these dies that don't have a cutting edge but will emboss, and then there's a coordinating die that does have a cutting edge so that you can emboss and cut your foil to achieve that result there. Obviously there are stamps that coordinate with that die as well, so you can have a stamped one that you die cut as well as an embossed one to die cut. So again, I'm just going to add some stays on onto these leaves. I'm going to bring in my tweezers so that I don't get too much stays on my hands, and I was going to bring in that other bit of foil again, not foil, paper, grid paper again, but I'll just get this one mucky. We're nearly there. So I've not bothered about going right to the end there because it's going to be tucked under my sentiment anyway. And you can add as much or as little to these leaves as you like. You can have it pretty much all black or just a little bit. I'm going to add quite a bit to this one. It's a smaller leaf, so I think it can take it. And on this one, I'm just going to add a little so that we've got a mix on there. Okay, so again, they need to dry. I'm going to add my ribbon that we coloured. Now it has kind of dulled back a little bit and it goes kind of stiff, but I'm going to add that to this, and I'm going to use some tear and tape to do that. Use my grid paper to make sure that I've got that relatively straight. And then I can add this to the front of my card. Now because it's embossed, I'm actually going to add some tear and tape as well as my favourite wet glue. The tear and tape will help adhere it quickly while we're on camera, and the wet glue kind of helps you get some of the higher bits covered so that it will definitely stick. Then I'm going to add this on with another little bit of tear and tape. I'm going to pop that over there. It's going to be covered with my sentiment. A little bit cutting out there. I can trim that if I want. there and glue that down like that. So I'm really just gluing one side of it down and the other bit will stick up. It will take a little bit longer to adhere with that wet glue on there. It'll take a little bit longer to dry. Add more to that one. Back there, and again just for a little bit more dimension, add that one in like that. Leave that to dry for a moment, and that was my heat set with clear embossing and cut with Tasteful Label die. I cut one from black as well and cut that down the middle so that I can just add a little border along the top and along the bottom as well. Just helps tie in that white card to the black as it stays on the ribbon and the card base. And finally just add in some dimensionals and pop that on the card. There we are. Final little piece is to add some of those champagne rhinestones to tie in with the champagne foil. And there we have it. As I say, this is a blog hop, so a video hop rather, so please click on the list of other participants down below to go and have a look at their projects that will have lots of shimmer, sparkle and shine. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time, take care. Bye bye.